Alrighty, I'll go ahead and get started. I usually wait about 10 seconds, make sure that I'm actually live streaming. I'm doing these really low tech, other than the phone, live streams now. Actually, they may have done me a favor. I was trying to get too fancy there with all the intros and all that. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy doing that. As far as the creativity and all that, and I think that my plate, my introduction plate that says the intel community is our most dangerous domestic enemy is so appropriate, and it's proven to be prophetic, absolutely true, and beyond all doubt. As a matter of fact, if we took that to court today, we could convict the IC, not just beyond a reasonable doubt, but absolutely. So, good morning, everyone. Today is the 26th of March, 2020. I'm Roy Potter, still. And I want to thank you all for coming in as you do. And as I said, I'm getting more and more low tech these days for a lot of reasons. Yeah, I saw that, Jennifer. While the schools are closed, they're putting in the 5G. Uh, you know, I gave Trump every benefit of the doubt. I actually got on Twitter yesterday, and I was talking with a retired Army colonel. I was tweeting with him. A guy I have a lot of respect for. Actually, all those men I do. Manus, Colonel Joe, of course, Lieutenant Colonel Schaefer, uh, Colonel Schlichter. I could keep naming a lot of those people. I have a lot of respect for them. I know basically how they got there, and I don't think any of those men, as far as I can tell, uh, violated their oaths in any way. I mean, we all make mistakes, but I don't think that they're the bad guys. So I just want to say that up front. But as I've often said, in a good staff, you're not going to get your staff all agreeing with the commander. You're just not going to do it. Not until the commander's made his decision, and then you're kind of stuck and you got to go with it. So I will speak my mind. Something that Colonel Joe, if you'd like to look at one of my OERs, you'll probably see that. That was a recurring theme in most of my OERs. That this is an officer that will speak his mind. So in the military, that can be a good thing or a bad thing depending upon who finds it. Now you might be wondering why I have a black cup. Well, that other one was, it served me for many years, but it finally cracked, and it actually cracked just before I did my last show, and I didn't know it. And when I looked down, when I did the show where I had my cup, and when I looked down on the table, I kept saying, "I'm not spilling coffee. What the heck's going on here?" And I looked a little closer, and it was cracked all the way around about this level on the cup, all the way around. So I was just lucky the bottom didn't fall out, and the coffee go all over the place, all my computers and all that. So I'm going to have to inspect those. Anyway, getting back to my information on Twitter. Yeah, I saw that. I've seen all the video uploads with the people who have seen people installing what appear to be 5G networks in the schools. I really don't know that's what it is, but it wouldn't surprise me. And one of them that was sent to me this morning by a person that sends me information a lot, and the only time he is ever wrong, he always tells me that oh, I'm sorry, that was the wrong thing. I'm sorry. So he's upfront. I trust him a lot. I still check things out, but I appreciate that. He'll know who he is if he's watching today. Sent me a clip from this man who was videotaping or live streaming, I suppose is what it was. These police officers that were guarding these installers, and police officer. See, this is why I can't trust cops anymore, because they're just authoritarian sons of bitches, jackboots. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. By and large, that's what I see. And I can say that because I was a cop. And I'm thoroughly disgusted by the way they've been trained now and what they do. But anyway, that's another story. So, yeah, we're seeing some of this stuff go up in the schools. Apparently, that's what's happening, which is not a good sign. And also, a lot of videos are up right now with a lot of military equipment moving around, a lot of it. And I've heard people say, well, that's just, I mentioned this the other day, or just saying, well, that's just going from the manufacturer to the storage depot or to the units or whatever. Actually, they're not going to the units. Or if they were coming from the supply depots, they go to another place first. It used to be called the Army Materiel Command, but at any rate. This stuff is getting pretty serious, and I don't think these movements are simply because Trump spent a lot of money on the military and they're tooling up. No, I don't think that's what this is. Some of it, sure, but not to the amount that we've seen. Big Daddy, you need to stop saying that. There are no 185,000 SEAL indictments and any arrests coming. And I'm sorry to disappoint you, but that isn't going to happen. Okay, I won't get distracted anymore by the chat right now. Let me get to the main points here. I came on yesterday because I knew that this, when I saw how this package was going, this, save the country, nonsense, which is exactly opposite to what you do to save the country. I finally got really disgusted that we would, and not everybody's doing this, I don't mean that, but that anybody would think that they could sell our heritage and our rights for $1,200 or whatever it is. No, I could see what this was, and what it is another handout to the very people that caused the problem in the first place. Do you see that? In 2008, when this happened, I did a little math and I found out that if the government really wanted to help the people, they could have paid off everybody's mortgage, by and large. People have mortgages, say, in the $200,000 range. You wouldn't pay off a millionaire's home, his millionaire mansion or whatever. And then those people would have had that money, that discretionary money, to spend on the economy, right? No, they're not going to do that. They're going to give the money to the very banksters and the very corporations that brought us to this point in the first place. So that's why I came on yesterday, and I'm not going to go into all the other details either. If you all have looked at it, you'll understand exactly why I was disgusted yesterday, and even more so today. Well, then this morning I start checking my Twitter, the news and things. I missed some things yesterday. One was put up by High Impact Vlogs. His name's Brian. Excellent work all the time. And the other was put up by John Rappaport on InfoWars. And I suppose he probably published the paper somewhere else too. Come to find out that I think it was in January or February. It was this month. It was this month. The UK, the United Kingdom, has now said that after they looked at all of the stats and the data, that the Wuhan virus, I had some former Navy lady try to tell me, it's COVID ID. I think she was a Navy nurse or something. Sorry. I'm not going to say your name on here, but your picture pretty much tells it. I think it's in your bio too. But at any rate, tried to tell me that no, it's COVID ID. No, it's the Wuhan virus, and I'm sticking with it. But at any rate, so John Rappaport reported on, and Brian of High Impact Vlogs reported on this decision by the United Kingdom, and this is what it's called. They've decided to say the Wuhan virus is an HCID. And what that means is that it is not an HCID. And what is an HCID? The Wuhan virus is no longer a high consequence infectious disease. That's not me saying that. Let me say that again. So the United Kingdom, their health ministry, whatever the heck it is, has classified the Wuhan virus as not a high consequence infectious disease. Well, what do you know? So, what in the hell is going on? Military movements, shut down the economy. Does anybody else get the feeling like we're watching a theatrical drama? And you know what? Isn't it funny that now two of our presidents, is it just two? I think so. Two of our presidents have been actors. Ronald Reagan, and people say, oh, don't attack Ronald Reagan. I'm just pointing it out. An actor. And now we have another actor, Trump, in the place there. And his talk doesn't match his walk. I'm going to say it. I've been warning about this. Yes, I've vacillated for 3 years. But look what just happened, ladies and gentlemen. I have to believe at this point that Trump is complicit in the takedown of what's left of the American Republic. Play the victim, so his conservative base defends him no matter what he does. And I'm not saying that he isn't in competition with the likes of Nancy Pelosi, etc. But as I've come to figure out, I think it's pretty much, hi Nancy, how you doing? Headlines of the Voice. I think the evidence is all in. And I mentioned that to this colonel last night on Twitter. I said, well, he came back at me with a meme that says, that shows Trump going, wrong, because I said, I think we've been betrayed. And he goes, wrong. And I texted or tweeted him back and I said, look, I look at the evidence, and there's a lot of evidence over the last 3 years. And if you go back into Trump's background, which everybody's been warning me about for a long time. Okay, I know. And I said, I have to look at the evidence. I'm not into hope or politics when I look at evidence. So I'm not supporting Trump because he's the only thing we've got left. I'm telling you, he's betrayed us and we're in a hell of a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. He didn't open up about what he promised. Remember the JFK thing? He let that slide. Never revealed what happened in 2001 at the Twin Towers. Covered up the thing that happened in Las Vegas. Fired missiles into Syria when he had to know. I'm not giving him, he was lied to by the IC. He's always been lied to the IC. He said that he didn't trust them, and he fires missiles into Syria. He attacks your First Amendment by doing nothing, and now this stuff that's going on now. He attacks your Second Amendment, he encouraged by his words when he said, take the guns first and then due process, right? And now what's happened? That before this Wuhan bullshit started, it went nationwide, especially in the Democratic areas, right? Anybody see that? Well, what's happened now? Oh, we've got this virus. We've got we need a 14-day period to flatten out the curve. And then what happens? Same thing. The governors, especially Democratic governors, take the hint and they become draconian. I think Trump just needs to keep his mouth shut. He's sending signals that are contrary to what he says to us. So now the UK is saying that Wuhan is not a high consequence infectious disease. I keep wanting to say highly contagious. That's why I have to look at my notes. And yet we've got almost the entire world shut down. Something big is coming, something bad. And I came out yesterday, I think it was, and I said, it was in another one of my tweets. Alex Jones, and I think I mentioned it on one of my live streams. Alex Jones kept saying that, this is a beta test for the next big thing they're going to do. Why would they wait at this point? Trump's given them everything they wanted. He's thrown a few little crackers to us, the right to try. He hung his hat on the stock market, okay, and a few other things, but nothing of any real consequence that we elected him to do. He's placated us. He's sedated us. He's given us hope while they've done all this stuff in the background. And now here we are, ladies and gentlemen. He's given them everything that they wanted. Now I don't know if he's already signed that thing or not. I don't know where that is. I just know that yesterday he said he was proud of the Senate, way to go. 96-0, way to go, senators. Okay, we're saving the country. No, you're not. No, this isn't going to save the country at all. Open up the country again is what you do. So we're being betrayed by the very person that we put our trust in, and that's always a mistake. It's always a mistake. I'm going to get people upset at me for saying that. Just come right out now. I'm not backing away from it ever again. Nancy, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. Gigi, if you're watching, I know you're pissed at me. But look at the evidence, as Monograph says. Yeah, I ran into that yesterday. I told you, Jana Davila. I went into a store yesterday and they said, "Oh, we don't take cash anymore. We're afraid of the virus." By the way, it was not Walmart. I just happened to park by the Walmart because the signal was good there, so I could do the live stream and still had some interference. So Jesse from BP Earthwatch texted me and said, "Oh, was it Walmart? Because we've heard information here that Walmart's deciding not to take cash down here." And I told Jesse, no, it wasn't Walmart. I would name the store, but that's probably not a good idea. Just so you know, it is happening. And as I said yesterday, while it's possible to transfer any disease on our cash, they haven't worried about it in the past, not even when Ebola was here. Of course, Ebola has a short life out in the sun. But now that the United Kingdom is saying that Wuhan is not a high consequence infectious disease, all this is bullshit. And it's just like I said, Trump has to be complicit in this. They might have a gun to the back of his head saying, you have to pretend to be this or we're going to take your family out. Okay, I'll give him that. But he still said things he never had to say and given the green light for these horrible things that are happening. So Trump's not your savior, everybody. He's not the Koresh, the Cyrus that Israel holds him up to be. No, I don't think so. I think he's more of a Herod figure than anything else. Sell us out to the Romans. So that's where I am today. I don't really have much more to say. Go look up those from High Impact Vlogs and from John Rappaport on InfoWars and look at the information there. And I'm going to ask everybody right here now. Anybody know anybody that's got the Wuhan wiggle, as Monograph calls it? Anybody here know anybody that's been diagnosed with the Wuhan virus? Anybody? I don't. I hear about people that are being diagnosed, but what if they're being told that? What if, I don't know if Senator Rand Paul has access to independent testing or not, but what if they just wanted to get him out of the way? So he says he has it. And people have pointed this out. How come all these elites and the movie stars are coming down with this, but I don't know anybody personally with it? Oh, well, you don't live in an area where it's a problem, Roy. Well, there was a video that was put up here the other day. They went into this place where there were supposedly all these people waiting to get in the beds from the ICU. There were no people. They're lying to us, and we might as well just face up to it. And you other former and retired Army officers and military personnel, if I'm hurting your feelings, all you got to do is say, well, Roy's just stirring the shit again, just like he did when he was in the service. Oh, yeah, and I did a lot of that. I don't put up with bullshit. I don't care how many stars you got on your collar or on your breast, the way they do it now. So I can respectfully disagree, and quite vehemently, and I'm doing it now. So what is the end result of all this, ladies and gentlemen? We got to take care of ourselves, and it's going to be tough. They're going to keep this thing like this. They pushed it off till Easter, right? Uh, the 2 weeks ends. The 2 week period ends, I think, this coming Monday. But they're going to keep. They're going to reevaluate it. Then they're not going to turn it off. They're going to or turn it back on. They're going to reevaluate that point, and they're shooting for a reopening date of April 12th. What is going to happen in April that they're putting everything off? Remember, Durham's thing wasn't going to come out until late spring or summer. Now it's pushed way back to the end of summer or middle summer. Uh, and all these other things. Now the Wuhan, we'll probably reopen the country on April 12th. Something's happening in the spring that they're getting ready for. And I don't pretend to know what it is, but I can see that there is all this preparation to lock us down and to use what did Barr want? He wanted to suspend habeas corpus. Then he can pick up anybody he wants, anywhere, anytime. And you know what? It's not going to be the coup plotters, ladies and gentlemen. It's not. It's not going to be them. It's not going to be Soros. You know? It's not going to be the former head of the IRS. It's not going to be, Sally Yates or Comey. And certainly, sure as hell, not Hillary Clinton. We've been had. We've been betrayed, and God damn it. I said if Trump didn't repent, God would destroy him. Well, that's going to happen. But unfortunately, like the story I told you about with David, King David in the Bible, when he numbered Israel, he wasn't supposed to do that, and a plague started amongst the people. Does this sound familiar? When you go again, how many babies we kill, how much stuff we allow to be done around the world in our name, the transgender, and all the things I could list here to show you how wicked this nation has become. And you think you have got a savior in Trump? We have been had because we wanted to believe a lie. And we won't look at the evidence. And Gigi, I'm sorry. You do outstanding work. But I think your conclusion that Trump is somehow a victim in all this is now pretty well eradicated in my mind. Huh. So what do? I don't know. With the states playing along with this thing, even Wyoming now has shut down restaurants and stuff. So even the governor there did it. But that doesn't really surprise me. I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know how soon. In Utah, it's been that way for, I don't know, well over a week, probably closer to 2 now. So, and the health departments are loving this because this is their chance to flex their muscle and their power. Oh, they're loving it. They're going along with it. They're not saying, wait a minute, we're not seeing that. I mean, this isn't really any worse than the flu problem we had back before, and it's certainly not as bad as the SARS or the MERS. Oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Oh yeah, like Q says. Oh, no, those 180,000, sealed indictments, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming. The arrest of Hillary's imminent. Supposed to happen on, what was that, November 17th of 2017. That was, she's already got she's wearing an ankle bracelet. Oh, all this bullshit. It's coming. Like Christmas is always coming. It's gonna happen. Just keep your faith. It's gonna happen. Well, I'm sorry, but that dead horse died a long time ago. Okay. So again, to get ready, I don't know. You try to stand up like these militias are, or even groups of people trying to protect themselves. That's what the military's, they're going to turn their weapons on the American people. I tell you, it's going to happen. Oh, no, the trigger pullers will never do that, Mike Cernovich said. No, Mike, you don't understand the military. You were in for a very short time and a long time ago. No, they've brainwashed these kids. Oh, some won't. Yeah, some won't. But when push comes to shove, yeah, they will. So they're going to be the big hammer that's going to be out there to threaten us with if we don't. They'll use the cops first and ordnance enforcers and those types of things. But when the people really wake up, like I am now, and on a mass scale, what do you think all those zombie drills were about? All the flying helicopters around the cities. It wasn't about taking down the cabal. It was the cabal getting ready for this takedown of us to finish us off. Oh no, don't be so pessimistic. You're scaring me. You're scaring me. Well, I can tell you this. I'm not telling you this to deceive you like they tell you the things that they do to deceive you. I'm telling you what I look at right now, my viewpoint. Okay? You don't like my opinion? Fine. Go listen to somebody who tells you what you want to hear. That's fine. I don't mind. Alex Jones even has waffled so much. One day he says, "Oh, Trump, I got a problem with him. I still support him, but I got a problem." The next day is, "Oh, poor Trump, they're just doing all these horrible things to him." He's trying to play the numbers game of his viewers. It's real obvious. He doesn't want to lose his viewers. I'm not saying it's wrong to think that way. He's a businessman. But he worried more about growing his business than he did about getting the truth out there. And that's really where he is right now. So he's afraid to commit to one side or the other. I am committing. Rich Higgins, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I've read all of your works on unconstrained analytics. I understand how the left has worked. I understand all that. Actually, I saw a lot of it happen. I was there, right? No, the rhetoric has never matched what is happening on the ground. So if you all don't like that, like I said, you can go somewhere else, all right? It doesn't bother me any. I've never been here for accolades, praise, or money, or fame, or any of that. Like I told you, I did this to unload karma because I worked for these bastards for 30 years, close to it. And now I see, I kept hoping that things would turn around. But they've got President Trump right where they want him because he's doing everything they want. So why would, they're going to use people like Maxine Waters to continue to attack him. Of course. They got to keep the base, Trump's base, believing that he's a poor victim and he needs our support, even though he doesn't do anything like he said he was going to do. What is this? What is this package? How many trillions of dollars? $2 trillion? And how much of that are the American people really getting? Oh, well, if they give it to the businesses, it'll start the economy back up again. I don't think that's how this is going to work. Okay, I'm going to go to chat. I've ranted enough this morning. And as usual, I'm not going to be able to get through all these. Yeah, Robert Pliskin, yeah, it downgraded. I'm going to call it Wuhan virus, okay? You can call it what you want, but that's what it is, and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, they downgraded it to low risk, which is just what I've been talking about. Yep. Yeah, something's happening before mid-April. Something bad is happening before mid-April. We're being told these things. I'm answering Liberty for All, where he says, Trump's speech says he wants everybody to go to church April 17th. Ooh. I think that's probably not a good idea, and it's not because I'm worried about the 6 feet of separation. I'm thinking something else is going on that day. Or somewhere close to it. At least putting that hope out there so that you just hold on a little bit longer while they finish up whatever preparations they're making. Yeah, trusting Bill Gates and Fauci and all these. I mean, if anybody, seeing the connections that Fauci has had now and knowing what he has, his loyalty to Clinton, the way he's worked with WHO, and look at the leader of WHO. Have you checked that out? I wonder who he blew. Sorry, I know that's vulgar, but some things just say it just right. You know what I mean? Yeah, the vaccine will be, yeah, we don't want to take that. I'm going to say it right now. You know, no, no, I'm not consenting to that. I don't care what my family does. Well, I do care, but they'll have to make their own decisions, but no way. And it's not because I'm afraid of it. I mean, at my age, if I got pneumonia, tell you ever heard that saying, pneumonia is a young man's enemy and an old man's friend? Remember, I got a wife that I lost a long time ago, and I haven't found another one like her. So, yeah, I'm doing everything I can right now to help my kids get through this, but I know it's not going to turn easy. I could have a freaking redoubt fortress in the mountains in Montana, and they're not going to make it through this very easily, if at all. I'm not kidding myself. Again, hello everybody. I appreciate you, and I know I've been ranting and ranting. There's no way to turn up the volume waiting for a miracle. There's no way to do that. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Okay, and you all should know that by now. Okay, that's not how this whole system works. You got to do it on your end. Okay, it's not on the mic on my phone. It just doesn't work that way. So I'm not going to address it again. Yeah, big text. A sheet of TP is going to be worth more than $1. Did you see that video of the guy that pulls up to the fast food restaurant, pulls up to the drive-in window, and he's unrolling sheets of paper and giving them to the server inside that's taking his money? That was funny as all get out. Yeah, that was pretty good. I'll say hi to everybody again, Edelson James and Nancy Morgan Hart and any of my other mods that are here. I appreciate you. Yeah, I saw what DeSantis has done, and that I like that. But we don't have enough governors that are standing up to this, and it's time. We're going to get balkanized one way or the other. Uh, I frankly don't know who to trust. Is this it? Allison, you say, is America over? Well, America's been over for a long time. They're just dealing us the last death blows right now. Yeah, I do not believe this is a beta test at this point. They would be foolish to let this get away from them. Think about it. You've got somebody, you're cocked and locked, and you've got them by the scrotum where they can't move, and you're going to let them go? Uh-uh. No, I don't think so. I think this is it. I think this is it. And everything shows that that's what's happening. Again, the delay. Don't worry, we'll be back open in mid-April. Oh yeah, remember, like as I said, Barr pushing it to the spring, etc. It's all these things going on. 5G going into schools now? Uh-huh, right, okay. Yeah, they're going to steal all your pension accounts. Yeah, I guess they took out the digital currency business in this bill. But see, that's a trick. You take it out of there and you just slide it in somewhere else. They haven't dropped it. TGS source, thank you. Some new uploads there, great. Yeah, that's right, Lisa. I like the way you said that. The real fighting is amongst themselves, is how much they were getting. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. $25 million in additional pay raises and expense accounts. And you get $1,200. Yeah, that's really helping us. Yeah, we should be livid, Edelson. I agree. Yeah, I like that disgustical. Says Americans need to go back to work immediately en masse. Small business owners, call your people back today. Mass civil disobedience. Yeah, they emptied the jails of the criminals, but then they threaten business owners and decent Americans who are trying to make their next payment. They threaten them with citations, arrest, prosecution, and jail time. If that doesn't tell you that they hate us, even if the Wuhan virus was true, even if it was as bad as they say it is, and apparently now the UK is saying it isn't, with the HCID saying it's not one, even if that were true, when, and I'm not saying that, you shouldn't practice good hygiene and all that, but forcing businesses to shut down, what, have you seen what Costco did? Of course, they're one of the big box stores that would, get through this thing pretty well. But did you see how they handled it? Their lines now, people aren't just going to the store. They separate people, and their signs saying, please keep a distance. They call it that social distancing, I think, is another, it looks like one of those PC kind of words that's catching on, but, politically correct. But that's just common sense anyway. It's like I said the other day, you don't go into a restaurant and sit right next to the other people if you've got your own table. And the restaurants could have taken some action and separated the tables, so there's 6 feet distance, whatever. But to close the businesses down, they're not going to reopen them. That's not going to happen. No, this is bad. This is bad, 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 bad. It could be Harry Honk Cannon crashed the offshore banking and the secret accounts, RICO law, and a new system. Ugh. I wish that were true. But the only banking accounts they're going to go after are people like you and me. They're not going to go after those people. They're not going after the elites. There's no way. I'm sorry. If you can't see it now, I've wasted a lot of time on YouTube. Because I've given that benefit of the doubt. I've gone back and forth. But I'm not going back now. No. Trump I've lost respect for him. I've lost trust for him. No, he's put you and the next 10 generations in prison if they survive. Oh, really? Wow, TGS source. You say are you talking to me? She's, I guess it's a lady, says, my husband served under you. We always pray for you and all humanity. Really? Send me a DM, TGS source, if you're on Twitter. Don't send it on here. You don't want anybody to know who you are, right? I'd like to know who you are. I ran into the son of one of my platoon sergeants. I went through like 3 of them. Platoon sergeants when I was a lieutenant. And that was really interesting. I ran into him. And then I've run into other military people from time to time. But that's interesting. Yeah, if you're on Twitter, please send me a DM. I'd really like that. I'd like to know who you are. Maybe we can open up some communication. And I thank you for the prayers. And I appreciate the fact that you apparently understand where I'm coming from. Your husband must have been an MP or a federal police officer or something like that, right? Yeah, they're getting ready to lower the boom, and the cops are going to go along with it. They're not here to protect you from the bad guys at the federal government. They're not. No, they're all in on this. They think they're going to be, on the top of the heap. I'm going to get rid of that. That's why I don't like to use my phone, because when those calls come in, then that kind of thing happens. Alan Truitt says government bailouts have a caveat. If the corporations take the bailout, they have to give you a stock merger. Yeah, that's right. And what do you want to bet? Somebody said yesterday, "We'll just give the people their taxes back that they've been paying. Don't just close down the IRS this year." But you know what they're going to do? They're going to make you pay taxes on that $1,200. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet? Yeah, Prince Charles says he has it. Don't believe it. I don't believe it. No, I don't believe that. Look, Sharon, you're asking, so why the super hospital in the UK? Here's a rule, okay? Don't believe anything you hear and only half of what you see. That used to be the case. Now, you can't believe anything you hear or see. The super hospital, I mean, who knows? They could have some other problem. I don't know. Maybe, whatever. I mean, there's so many other possibilities in these things. Or, I just don't know. But it doesn't make any difference because the UK's already come out and said that it's not an HCID. Okay, Phil, thank you. He says the page you're looking at on the government gov website gives 3 different accounts: downgrade, low risk, and high risk. Yeah, and that's groups of people. The high risk people are who? Somebody really wants to talk, but I can't do it right now. The high risk people, we already know who they are: people with pre-existing conditions, etc. That's basically what it is. Well, that's always the case with any disease. Well, sustainable stewards, okay. Let's say that there's something more to the Wuhan virus, okay, it's got some other triggers in it or whatever. The point is, and I'll admit, it could be a bioweapon. I'll admit that. But what we're doing is more dangerous. And Trump amazingly said it himself. We don't want the cure to be worse than the disease. Well, I'm sorry, but that's already the case. No, even if it is, I'll give you that caveat. Even if this disease is everything they say it is, it's not going to work. Okay? It's not going to work. And what I mean by that is that the actions that they're taking are going to, in fact, be worse than if we had just treated this thing with some common sense. Okay, it's been 45 minutes, and I'll never get through all these, so I'm just going to run to the bottom and just see if anybody has said something that I need to pick up on quick. But get your preparations ready. Oh man, I can't believe how many people are on here. Okay, yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to cover all this. So get yourself ready in any way that you can. Yeah, there's no way I'll get through all those. Thank you for coming. I want to appreciate your time here. Again, I probably really upset some people, but I would rather you approach this from a point of caution than to throw all of your trust in what Trump is telling you. Remember, and we still have that problem with the presidential seal. It's gone. I thought it was the UN flag, but which didn't make any sense to me. Somebody else said that. It's the presidential flag is gone too. And the gold fringe flag is still there, which means what? We're under admiralty law, right? So I don't know. I don't think things are looking good. They're sending lots of signals to each other, but they're lying to us. Okay, there's no way I'll get through all this. Okay, everybody, I'll see you next time. Not sure when that'll be. I was going to label these things just with the date and like episode 1, 2, 3 in case I upload more during the day, but I'll keep doing it this way. I'll give it a title of some sort or another. Okay. All right. I've taken up enough of your time. Go get ready for your day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Out here.